What's going on, chess fanatics? It's the 92nd episode. We are currently rated at 1627. It is Saturday. It's a long weekend. We're feeling pretty good. First game of the day. Opponent rated 1645 from the Netherlands. They're opening up with d4. We will respond back with d5. Okay, so we got ourselves a Queen's Gambit here. And we will be declining that. No, thank you, sir. So we can just go ahead and play c5 here. And we'll just continue development. In these types of structures, obviously, we'd love to be able to push e5. But now what we have is a very kind of classic hanging pawn structure that we get in the Queen's Gambit declined. Let's just ask a question to the bishop, see what he wants to do here. Opponent giving it a bit of a think. Okay, just backs up. That's fine. Can always look to check, but we'll just wind up helping our opponent develop. So we want to kind of avoid that. Instead, what we shall do is we're going to push. Okay. Now, what is the best way to handle this? Can't go knight back because we'd obviously be dropping the queen. So instead, we could break the pin potentially with bishop c7 here. Then if they develop down here. Okay, we're going to just go c7. I think we're going to get a bit of a messy position here. But we'll see what our opponent does. Assuming maybe knight in. They might be looking to just castle as well. Not really sure. If they go knight in, we will take it, of course, with the knight. Because if takes, then we have the luxury of bringing the knight back and potentially picking up a piece. Okay, so if we go queen out now, for example. Actually, let's do this. This bishop isn't really going anywhere. And now the queen's been tempoed. Okay, we will, we're going to just go bishop to e7 here. We're going to castle. And we'll have ourselves a game. Okay, so not a lot of great locations here to move the bishop. I guess the question is, how do we want to capture back? And so I think in this type of structure, it might make sense to just go queen c7 here. We'll see if our opponent ever captures or if he just looks to develop back. Yeah, so that makes sense. Now what we can do is just nestle our queen back here. Okay, castles. We're also going to castle. 6:53, so we could be doing a little bit better on time. We'll just pre-move this in case our opponent captures. Okay, so they're just coming back, I guess. They really like that pin, but it's not really doing a whole lot here, to be honest. At least not that I can detect. So let's just get the rook out. So we can always look to jump our knight into the action here in the near future. We'll have to dislodge this first, but okay. So, do we have any great moves here? Is anything sticking out? You know what? Let's just reinforce it. And then what we'll do is if they don't take with the knight, we're going to just drop the bishop back to b7, and we're going to keep it on the long diagonal here. Not that diagonal. That one. So our opponent might be thinking, should I just get rid of that? Oh, okay. Interesting. So what do we do? I mean, I feel like this is kind of crazy. Do we capture this way? Because it opens up the diagonal, but it gives our opponent, these pass pawns. I would love to. Okay, so let's calculate. So if takes, I mean, this might be a huge mistake. So if takes, are they looking to just push this, for example? I mean, they can't really. I'm going to just go for it and see what happens here. This is a wild position. Okay, so clearly we have an advantage over here. But what does it mean? You know what? I think what we'll do, what if we kick the knight, see where the knight winds up going, and then gain a tempo on the queen. Ooh, okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, I had just missed that. Totally fair play by our opponent. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, we're gonna just try and keep the queens on the board. Put some pressure here. Then we'll try and potentially bring the rook out, see if we can kick the queen away. We'll be curious to see what our opponent plays against this, though. Definitely going into a bit of a think. I mean, if we... Okay. So we have the bishop, so he can't really come in. I guess they could look to do something like this. Okay. Good move from our opponent. Good move from our opponent. This is crazy, but... I mean, what if we take this? Then we get checkmated, so we can't do that. Okay. What about pawn takes? Okay, you know what? None of it really works that well. Let's just do this. So this bishop has been very well placed. Okay. Okay. What we'll do is trying. Okay. Good move from our opponent. What if we... And knights are always so annoying, right? What if we do this? Is he going to play check? Knight up. I mean, if he takes, we would take back. Oh, no, we couldn't because he'd be attacked, so we'd have to retreat. Okay, so we really do need to speed up, so that's what we'll try and do. Okay, so we got this knight attacked. Knight has to move, but where? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we got our bishops protected. Okay, so not anymore if we were to move that. So what if we just try and gain a tempo here on the rook? Really got to speed up our play. Okay. Can we promote one of these pawns? That is the question. I think he's going to have to sack. Where does he go? Okay. So now how can we capture this? This is good, letting us in. We like this. Okay, so we get a draw. Yeah, it was a drawn position. Big scramble at the end. I think we could have pulled out a win maybe with some more time, but that wasn't to be. Let's take a look at the game review. I'm going to say maybe 80. Oh, 72. Wild. Look at this. Okay. So, yeah, well, they got up to, I mean, pretty good lead here, right? Pretty good advantage. Okay, let's just quickly run through here. So this is pretty standard QGD stuff. Okay, so they didn't like our play here. Definitely gave our opponent a bit of an advantage. But they didn't capitalize. And then we're able to push past. So very standard to get hanging pawns where two pawns are together like this in QGD structures. It's just something that you need to, I think, learn to live with in some lines. And yeah, I'll be curious to see about my decision to take towards the A file here, see if it was good or bad. I feel like gave our opponent a lot of counterplay. Okay, all this seems pretty good. Opponent seems like we just bailed out. I felt like this would be the move that they played. It seems pretty standard. Everyone's wanting to get a surprise attack, I guess, or a discovered attack on the queen. But we just move the queen back, and we're able to castle. No harm, no foul. So it does like this move. I guess it makes more sense than what it was doing. And okay, so it doesn't love this move, but it says that I would have had something better. So just to connect the pawn chain. So I did have that in mind, just not at the same time. So, oh, it says it's best. I'm happy to see that. And now it says we got an advantage, but I pretty much blew it immediately. So my thoughts were kick the knight. Let's get some squares here for the bishop and attack the queen and see if we can make a queen on the side of the board. Now our opponent, yeah, they also made a mistake. So it says that I should have been able to better punish it. Let's see here. Okay. So this is, yeah, probably a better idea than what I had in mind. I think I wanted to drop the bishop back and keep myself on this long diagonal. When clearly this probably made more sense as it would have kept us protected. But I didn't do that, so I dropped it. Ooh, and it really doesn't like this move. Huge blunder. Okay. Okay, so this was the inaccuracy. So Wow. I guess those pawns in the center are just occupying some good space. They have better piece mobility. Um, yeah, so it doesn't like anything of what I'm doing here. Let's see what the best move was. Okay, just to run the pawns. Noted. I'll have to keep that in mind next time if there's no immediate threat with the knight. Just don't like him in my position. Okay, so we were able to even things up basically. So yeah, I thought this was not ideal, but at the same time, hard to not play. I probably would have done the same. So again, these knights are always so tricky. I just wanted to get everything protected, so I wouldn't wind up blundering something in a time scramble. Um, Here I thought attack the rook, but then I would also be able to ultimately just push the pawn up and again keep everything relatively protected. Okay, so it likes what's going on here. This is not a great move. Okay, it likes this, and then all of a sudden I get a huge winning advantage, but I missed it. Should I push this? No. Let's see. Oops. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Let's see what the best move was. Okay, so just kicking. Oh my gosh. Of course. But wait a minute. Okay, kick it. Oh, you know what? I got it. Of course. You're going to just kick the knight away and then ultimately you're going to win. That would have been an overwhelming advantage. Okay, I thought trading down would be good. It likes this. All this is good. Mistake. Wow. Okay, so we have a good advantage. What should we have played? Okay. Yeah, I mean, how could we have won material? Okay. So it didn't like this either. I guess it just wants us to continue to suffocate the pieces and gain some more mobility. Okay, so it didn't like this either, honestly. Just running at a time, and so we wound up making a draw. Not the best game in the world, but you know what? UGD, black pieces. I'll take a draw in that scenario. Thanks a lot. Bye.